Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your main man Steven back again to bring the recap of Matchday 3 of the Premier League. So definitely Matchday 3, I'm not up to speed yet, recovering a bit of fitness, but everything else should be fine and trying to be more consistent going forward. So please, if you're dropping in, please smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, get me to 50 so I can live stream yet again and proceed forward. Be respectful in the community on this channel as well. So, no further ados. First off, it's Chelsea versus Fulham. Fulham fans might be a little upset about the late VAR controversial penalty in the 56th minute, but Chelsea were always the favorites into this one in the Fulham derby, in my opinion. Both of their stadiums is in the city of Fulham, Stamford Bridge and Craven Cottage. But so João Pedro in the 45th plus 9th minute extra time, and Enzo Fernandez, one of the most underrated midfielders yet for Chelsea, scoring loads of goals with Moises Caicedo in that midfield doing very business. This Chelsea team feels like they're having a league of their own. I know people are going to say Liverpool spent a lot and got the players in after Jurgen Klopp basically was unable to do so successful in the window, getting backing even after the Premier League win, and after Arne Slot won the league with Liverpool, it is a completely different story, getting the signings that we crave for. You have to give it to Richard Hughes, and you have to give it to Michael Edwards, man. These guys are amazing. Even though we're under FSG, John W. Henry, but this has been the most successful window, in my opinion, despite not getting what I want, in my opinion. This is my opinion. What I want for this Liverpool team is that DM, more coverage in DM, and more coverage at central back, and possibly right back. We already have our solution, Dominic Szoboszlai, but I still prefer him in the midfield. But he did exceptionally well, for my liking, at right back the last two games against top opposition, Arsenal and Newcastle. So definitely have to give Dominic Szoboszlai a lot of praise. He's showing his worth. Even though McAllister has been good throughout the season at Liverpool, but Dominic Szoboszlai so far this season has shined more, in my opinion. And missing Gravenberch for that first game definitely showed. If we have the injury, I don't think Endo is the man. A lot of Liverpool fans might have, or opposition fans might have, high hopes for Endo, but in my opinion, he's just not the man and not getting enough trust under Slot. So definitely we need the youth, the youngsters. Except the only issue is Bajcetic gets injured, Tyler Morton out the door. Bajcetic getting injury prone. I really rate Stefan Bajcetic a lot. And Tyler Morton out the door, and Yanni not caught up enough, in my opinion, on the bench as well. And Bobby Clark, I think, is on a loan, or did we sell him? I think we loaned him out, along with a few other options. Maybe McConnell can play there, but the more likable options for me was Bajcetic, but he's injury prone, that's the problem. And Yanni just coming in. But I think we need to balance out experience and use. Like, look at Rio Nagamoa. I barely seen him play at Chelsea Academy, and he just came in and shined. Rarely you see that kind of talent these days. It's very hard to find in the market. And yeah, well, back to business. We got a little sidetracked there, but back to business. João Pedro is on fire. Only player amongst many to get loads of points for my FPL, which is already shambles at the moment, with the injuries, suspensions, and players not being used by the respective clubs and managers. So really I need to fix that up before after this international break, which I will do content shortly after this video on my channel. Shortly there will be international content, Premier League recap content, and I might even start doing Serie A content again as the games get bigger. So far, there's no big clashes, top 6 clashes in the Serie A, as I seen. Juventus, I think Juventus are on top of the table at the moment as well, which is my favorite Serie A team. But I definitely would take Juventus or Napoli back-to-back for this Serie A. I'll have to eventually do it, maybe as I find the time to do it. Top 5 leagues, winner predictions, and so on. Like other cups, who I want or who I think will win the cups. It's just predictions. It's just for fun. People are taking it way too seriously who I pick, new winners or whatever. But come on, guys. You have to understand. It's for the fun of football. Football is so unpredictable. Come on, we move. We've been on Chelsea way too long. But Chelsea and Arsenal are the biggest contenders behind Liverpool, my team, of course, who I have as the favorites to win the Premier League. I rarely say my team as the favorites to win the Premier League because City has dominated the last 4 years before last season when we won the Premier League to stop their to stop their good run of years, good run of success, you know what I mean? So, but Liam Delap injury has caused Chelsea a lot of problems in this game. Liam Delap injured in the 14th minute, and they tried to recall Nicholas Jackson because of this injury. And yeah, they recalled Mark Guiu, I think, from Sunderland. I think they recalled Mark Guiu because of this injury, or it was one of those players. They had to recall some of the players because of the injury. Here we go back, is what I meant to say. You rarely hear players being recalled because of a serious injury to a club. This is the first time I heard it, but it's happening to Chelsea. They can buy players and they can buy back their players. It's crazy. This Chelsea team has their own, a league of their own, an academy of their own, maybe even a congregation, like how Dominic Rich likes to say, of his own. So we move. We've been lingered too long here, and I don't want it to be long-winded. So yeah. So next up, Man United 3, Burnley 2. Burnley really should have beat United. I don't know how bad this United team is getting. They're a joke of a club at the moment. After the last time they won the league, I don't even know, early 2000s? Early 2000, I think 2005 or something, I don't remember. Way before I was a football fan. But in general, this United team used to be the best in England, and then Liverpool took over. Simple as for the last decade or more. But yeah, you know what I mean? This United team is becoming a joke after getting rid. I don't know. Ineos and I think they got rid of the Glazers and it's Ineos now. I don't know what's going on. After you get rid of Sir Alex Ferguson, you are in big trouble. You are in big trouble, United. The best they done is, I think, Ten Hag or was it Mourinho winning some kind of silverware, some piece of silverware, other than the Premier League, of course, like a FA Cup or a Carabao Cup or something like that. You know what I mean? So, definitely United is in the mud for many years to come. I hope so, as a rival fan, as a Liverpool fan. Kind of biased, I know, but come on, bro. You know what I mean? This United team is a joke. Amorim, it's so stressed out. He probably will be the first manager sacked as a big manager. Top 6 team, top 7 team manager, man. Seriously, man. This United team ain't back. A lot of United fans think they're back with Sand Limons. Are you kidding me? That goalkeeper only played for Club Brugge and Royal Antwerp and not a big top 6 team, a top 5 league team. I'm telling you, man. Belgium ain't even considered a top 8. I think they're a top 8 team possibly, but outside of top 5, there's Netherlands, there's Portugal. See what I mean? Belgium possibly next. I don't know about the Croatian league that big. MLS is probably even bigger. I'm telling you, man. Especially if there's Messi, talent like Messi in there. It has to be bigger. You know what I mean? Definitely, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, guys. We're dedicated to our own opinions, but I think Portugal League and Dutch Udinese is bigger than the Belgian Pro League. Maybe even the Austria Bundesliga, not so big, because mainly it has been Salzburg, but now Salzburg on big decline mode. But you see what I mean. So definitely United are in big trouble. Mbeumo scoring his debut United goal, and Cunha getting injured is massive for United and Brazil. And definitely it will be a lot of headache for United. A lot of headache. Here we go again. For back to the drawing board for Ruben Amorim. Probably sacked early before Christmas. Possibly he'll be sacked. Who knows? November or who knows? I know they have more points than City, but not convincing. Against the Fulhams, they should be beating. A lot of these teams, they should be beating on a regular basis, other than Man City, Liverpool, possibly Chelsea's, and Arsenal's. Yeah, so... And Palace is a boogie team of United as well, so... There's the things. So... United, lots of work to do. Lots of work to do, I'm telling you, man. Lots and lots of work to do. Josh Cullen, own goal. I thought it would end an own goal. Imagine it ended 1-0 and Josh Cullen own goal and United still haven't scored. Joke, man. It's a joke. Foster. Lyle Foster in the 55th minute, man. Oh, man. United, man. You allowed them to score. A South African player, probably Finn Cross Football, will be very happy this guy scored. on his team, United. Oh, man. The banter is on, for sure. Lots of banter on United this season, I'm telling you, man. Possibly some banter on City and Arsenal as well. But yeah, Mbeumo, 57th minute. First goal in red side of Manchester for the Red Devils, and Jaden Anthony from hero to villain. Oh man, Jaden Anthony from hero to villain. 66th minute he scored a brilliant goal, and then he has to foul Ahmed at the end. And people call it a dive. I'm not so sure. It's a dive. The guy's shirt was tugged, man. And it went to VAR, and it's a penalty, and this time Bruno Fernandes dispatches his penalty after missing the last one against Fulham. The first time I seen Bruno Fernandes miss a penalty. That's how good this guy is at penalty. I rated him. The only player I ever rated on that United team currently is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Definitely. Bruno Fernandes and a few other players select in that defense. Lenny Euro, my Frenchman. A little bias towards France, and that's about it for this United team. Other than Garnacho, who left, and Anthony, who left as well. I do rate these players. But United, any player that went to United, it's in for a heart attack and in for a flop of the season reward. Or in for ruining their career award. I'm telling you, man. United is a team that can either be very good or ruin your career, which on many occasions it has. Mason Mount was good at Chelsea, and look what he's doing at United. Getting a lot of applause and a lot of trust from Memoriam this season. And still not living up to expectations, in my opinion. I rated Mason Mount a lot. Even at Derby. When I watched a few of the Derby games, I rated him. When Frank Lampard brought him to Chelsea, yeah, for sure. It's either Frank Lampard trusting Mason Mount like his son, like how Southgate trusted Pickford as his son, for instance. So, yeah, we move. And late, Bruno Fernandes winner. But yeah, still ahead of City, who's in the mud. I'm more happy. I hate City more than United. But my most hated team, City. And second, possibly United. Chelsea to a lesser degree, because Chelsea is kind of my second favorite club in England. So, because they're very most successful London club in Europe and England. So, not so much in England I meant, but more in European pedigree. That's what I meant. So yeah. And when I first started watching football, I watched Diego Costa a lot. And I watched Eden Hazard in that Chelsea team. And I don't remember if Petr Cech was there. I think John Terry was there and a few others. Yeah, so David Luiz and a few other names. Yeah, definitely was good. I think Thiago Silva and some other people. But yeah, we move. We've been too long-winded here. So now Sunderland, Brentford, guys. Sunderland, Brentford. The Stadium of Light is lit again. Not a surprise. I said it's a draw, but I said I won't be surprised if Sunderland wins it. And they make history again for being the best newly promoted team to the Premier League for a very long time. Since, I don't know who. Brentford. Was Brentford that good? Wolves, possibly. Sheffield United had a good spell at one point until they got relegated. I think it has to be Brentford, Villa, and those teams that really showed good. But I don't remember the last time a team won 2 games out of 3 Premier League. As for Sunderland. So, very, very good by Sunderland. Only loss is Burnley. Well known in when they were in the championship. So, very, very good start by Sunderland. And my Frenchman, big props to you. Reggie Lebre, big up to you. 49-year-old, big up. Sunderland manager, man. Lots of credit to you. And they were behind too. Thiago. I don't know this Thiago dude. I think he's new for Igor Thiago. New for Brentford, new striker after Westham left to Newcastle. This Brentford is on a decline mode at the moment. Vissa, Mabuemo. I hope they don't get relegated, this Brentford team, because I really like this Brentford team. Despite them giving Liverpool a lot of trouble in the Premier League, but I really have high respect for this Brentford team. Yeah, he came last season. Have 12 games, but I barely seen him, because my main focus was Mabuemo and Vissa last campaign. But he came from Club Brugge. Big up to Igor Thiago, man. Have to familiarize with some of these new names. And yeah, big up to Igor Thiago. But Granit Xhaka coming big with the assist this time out. And Roofs. How you pronounce this guy's name? Robin Roofs of Netherlands. 22-year-old. Young goalkeeper. Brilliant save, man. Brilliant save you have to make against Kevin Schade, who's not getting game time at Germany despite all the inconsistency up top for Germany. Walter Mendy has signed for Newcastle as well. Nick Walter Mendy. And you have, I forgot their names. Klindist, I think, for Germany. And you have, I don't know the other guys because they're not well known. And they're just recently called up to Germany. Klindist and a few other names comes to mind. And yeah, especially if Havertz was injured for Germany and Füllkrug was injured, that's those in that attack, in my opinion. They had to rotate one too many times in that attack, especially that number 9 row. And now Wirtz has an injury concern for Germany, and Musiala is still injury concern for Germany. Both Germany, Jordan's German team and my team France are plagued with injuries this international break, which is very sad because I do like watching Germany and France during internationals. But top European teams, that's what I like to watch during internationals. European teams and a little bit of CONMEBOL, I meant. And some of CONCACAF, but yeah. Leafy, my Frenchman, I think this is. Enzo Lafy, I think is how you pronounce his name. 25-year-old, younger than me as well. Left winger of Sunderland, doing the business. I think assisted by Granit Xhaka, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. Don't want to mislead you guys. No, Wilson Isidore was assisted by. Oh, Leafy was a penalty. Okay, fair enough. Lafy, I think it's how you pronounce it. That's how French people say it. I think it's le. It's not le. It's not le. So I think it's Lafy. Quite the guy. from the penalty spot ahead of Granit Xhaka, which I would expect it to take the penalty for this Sunderland team. And my Frenchman Mukiele has excellent rating at the back. My Frenchmen are cooking the Premier League this season. Traffier doing good this for Bournemouth as I get to them. But yeah, Isidore, brilliantly assisted by Granit Xhaka in the late dying minutes, 90 plus 6 minute. I still have to catch up with a few highlights because mainly during long weekend I was with family, barely had time to watch highlights and relax with a little bit of headache and a little bit of seizure. But yeah, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Life is never easy, but we have to move on. Big win by Sunderland and my Frenchman as the coach as well. 6 points on the board. 2 wins and a loss. Ain't bad for a newly promoted team. They might just prove me wrong and stay up. Like a lot of people said Sunderland, and I'm like, okay, they have Granit Xhaka and Dingra, and then I don't really know the rest. But they're actually showing their class. Wow. Sunderland. Last time they've been in the league was 2017 when I just started watching Liverpool on TV. Crazy. Crazy team. Crazy Sunderland, man. That season they were relegated as well. Totally different Sunderland now. And the Premier League tax is unreal this season, man. A lot of big players are going to smaller clubs, but possibly the main reason is because they want the minutes. They want the minutes. And not go to a big club and not get the minutes, man. Possibly because there's too many talent out there in the Premier League. It's exploding. The money is unreal in the Premier League. We dug gold in England, man, I'm telling you. So, we move on. Tottenham Bournemouth, guys. Tottenham Bournemouth. Headache, man. How Thomas Frank, man? I rate Thomas Frank a lot, doing well and keeping Brentford in the Premier League for so long. I think it's 2-3 years now Brentford has been in the Premier League. If I'm not mistaken, I have to double check that. But and now moving to Tottenham, unbeaten in the first 2 runs and clean sheets. And now unable to even score a single goal against Bournemouth. Joke! The old Spursy Spurs is back, man. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with the Spurs? Evan Nilsson scored in the 5th minute and that's all they wrote. They had like 90... They had possibly 90... minutes. Yeah, they have 90 plus minutes, 94 minutes with the extra time to score. And they couldn't score. Tottenham, man. You have to give this guy a lot of credit. Andoni Iraola, you have to give him a lot of credit, man. Andoni Iraola, quality as the Bournemouth manager, man. Give him a lot of credit. Sold all your defenders, basically. Hoyson to Real Madrid. Kirkins to Liverpool. Gerbani to PSG. Kepa to Arsenal. And replaced them with Diakate and Traffier. Who are these players? I don't even know these players, even though they're my Frenchmen. See what I mean? Get Petrovic in and he's doing a wonderful job. A big loss for Chelsea for backup to Sanchez indeed. They're stacked, especially with Adams fit. David Brooks, Somanu, Scott all doing good. Senesi doing wonderful. Big result by Bournemouth. We move. Okay, sorry for the interruption, guys. So we continue. Bad result by Tottenham. Hopefully to bounce back after international break. And who they got after international break is West Ham away. West Ham on the back of a win, but definitely I would favor Tottenham, but West Ham need to save Graham Potter's life as manager. So, tough game. Indeed. We move. Wolves 2. Everton 3. No more AU for Wolves because they've been awful this season to watch. They might be relegated. I had them just outside the relegation zone in 17th as well. And Wolves, man, Wolves in trouble. Cunha, no Raul Jimenez, no Pedro Netos, no Ruben Neves, and especially no Cunha. It has been very bad for Wolves. Hwang Chan is the only person possibly to save Wolves after possibly Strand Larson might stay. I didn't see him in the deadline day, so I think he's staying. After Newcastle, I think got their man, so. And a few other teams got their man, so definitely Strand Larson will have to be massive staying for Wolves. But Beto in the 7th minute, Hwang Chan in the 21st, NDI 33rd, NDI, Liverpool, man, pick him up as our next right winger. The guy's amazing. Despite we having sold Van Dijk, and we have Szoboszlai, and probably Wirtz can play at the right wing, but we see him mostly as a cam and sometimes false 9 or left wing, but he's very versatile. But so far under Slot, we've seen him at the cam or the central attacking midfield area. So NDI is definitely an option at that right wing area. This guy is a gem, man. The guy is a gem, in my opinion. Not many people can play there. Some people are very versatile and can play left wing and right wing, but it's very hard to find that kind of player. Pick up NDI after a DM and central back in January, possibly. I don't know if we'll have the money to spend as big in January as we did this whole summer. So put that into consideration. And Dewsbury Hall, nail in the coffin for Wolves in the 55th minute. Consolation goal for Wolves by Gomez in the 79th minute. Not good enough. Rodrigo Gomez, the Wolves team still has the Brazilian and Portuguese talent, but I don't think it will be enough to save them. Possibly, they might go down and prove me wrong. I hate to say it. Whoa. The teams that might give me the most headache this season: Wolves, West Ham, Brentford, and Villa. And the other teams in relegation zone at the moment, which are Fulham as well, Newcastle. But I think Newcastle, when they get Wissa and Woltamendi running, they should be okay. Back to the top. They had that. Remember that Newcastle team did have a spell at the close to relegation, and then they had the Saudi owners, and it brought them to top 6 or Champions League football. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff by this Newcastle. Never write off Eddie Howe at your own peril. because he will find his way to bounce back despite the 2 draws on the table, I think, for his team this campaign with Leeds and the Villa. And of course, losing to my team Liverpool made it worse. But yeah, so definitely they got their issues. We move. This recap video will be possibly the longest if we don't move. So lots of football talk to do. I should just name my channel Steve LFC Talks. Football Talks. When I return to a certain amount of subscribers. The Agent Sensational FC was the name that Dominic Rich gave me. Big up to him, props to him, respect to him as much as possible. Even though he's not as consistent as he used to be, but he has his life to manage. It's difficult, but we have to try to be consistent and make quality content. It's not easy as a producer, man, I'm telling you. Leeds, no. Newcastle, no. Boring game. Isaac to Liverpool is confirmed. Bye-bye to Newcastle. And in comes Wissa, Johan Wissa. Possibly the replacement, the true replacement for Isaac and Watermede. Jordan German in the house. Oh man, I'm kind of sad for Isaac that he got 0 minutes with Anthony Elanga, but it is what it is. If you are a former United man like Anthony Elanga, despite going to Forest, then you know what I mean. But he's still a good lad, Anthony Elanga. I do rate the player. So Ramsdale, I think Ramsdale should get more minutes in the Newcastle goal. As you see, they're leaking goals against Liverpool, but it's Liverpool. But yeah, that defense is very strong. Botman is not even in the defense. He's injured again. Botman, oh my. Botman becoming injury prone. Good thing Liverpool didn't sign this injury prone player, man. Konate picking up another injury though. Not much to say about Perry. I still don't rate him. Give me a sec. Okay? I'll be back. So we move. Let's not keep you waiting. 4 more games to talk about. Takes a lot of out of me. But big up to Brighton. The Seagulls doing the business yet again. Just like last season with João Pedro. But this time without João Pedro, they still do the business against Manchester City. They have a sing against City now with these 2-1 wins. Like last season. Last season in November 2024, beating City at the MX 2-1, and that was João Pedro and O'Reilly as well. Big up to this Brighton team. And that time Haaland scoring as well. It's the funny part. Haaland scoring in both fixtures and losing in both fixtures as well. Wow, man. They had Ndingra back then, Matoma. And they had O'Reilly off the bench, João Pedro off the bench. Matthew O'Reilly doing business back then against the City team. I just want to brag more and more about City losing. You know, we rival fans love to see it. Came in from Celtic. He played at Fulham for 5 games. And in the academy of Fulham, Matthew O'Reilly. But just saying, I just had to point that out. 2 seasons in a row, Man City has lost to Tottenham and Brighton. It's the same old City. It's the same old City, man. New signings, same old City, same problems. Same problems, man. Kushunov injured. Dominic Rich mentioning they don't have a stable 11, a confirmed starting 11. And Milner, Gruda doing the business. Gruda, I don't even know this player well, from Brighton. Milner, former City man from the spot. And Brendan Gruda, Jordan's German, wrecking up at 21 years of age, wrecking up against Man City and Pep Guardiola, overthinking again with his 11, not knowing what he's doing. Even with Rodri Reinders in the team, no Turkey through injury, no Foden, who's not even brought off the bench. Where's Foden? Where is Foden? Not even on the bench or anywhere. Your best player not caught up. Thou art overthink, Pep. Thou art overthink. I'm telling you. We move. Nottingham Forest lose to West Ham. The shock of the match week. One of the shocks other than the Brighton to a lesser degree. And Sunderland, I'm not shocked. Bowen, 84th. Paqueta, 88. Wilson, 90th plus first minute. Debut goal for West Ham. Coming in from Newcastle, Callum Wilson. So Bowen looks good. Could have been more for West Ham. Well needed to possibly save the career of Graham Potter and West Ham. And yeah, to go to the City ground and do such things, which Liverpool were unable to do last campaign. Amazing stuff by West Ham. Football is so unpredictable. Liverpool won. Arsenal, no. I did a music video on my YouTube Shorts. Go check that out. A lot of likes on that anyways. Dominic Szoboszlai, screamer, scored an absolutely worldy of a goal. And definitely, what is it called? Definitely, scored the only goal in the game. Played at right back as well. Scoring better goals than Trent. Might be the new right back for Liverpool. I'm joking. I don't think his natural position is there, despite having two very good games there. But shows how versatile the guy can be when caught up in that position. And Words picking up an injury, and Konate is massive blow for Liverpool. Hopefully after international break, 2 weeks, they'll be fine. And yeah, Arsenal tested us a lot through Madueke. Gyökeres having 0 goals at Liverpool. And the other guys not really testing us. Mendy costing Arsenal the game with that tackle. I think the tackle was on Curtis Jones, right? I think it was Curtis Jones. It doesn't say on FootMob well. Yeah, I think it was a challenge on Curtis Jones, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, took down Curtis Jones' energy. Curtis Jones can be very unpredictable sometimes. Maybe we should keep Curtis Jones. I rate Curtis Jones higher than Elliott. Anyways, just my opinion. And yeah, so we move because Jack is waiting. And my mom might come back anytime now. Aston Villa, no. Crystal Palace, 3. Mateta, 21st minute penalty. Guehi not going to Liverpool. Big disgrace. Wrong choice, Guehi, in my opinion. After that, Igor signing has failed for Palace. He stayed. They signed a French player or some player. Yeah, they signed my Frenchman, I think it was. And they signed another player on deadline day. but they signed my Frenchman, JD Canvoot, and that's not enough. Probably it is, because even though it's my Frenchman, but I never heard him ever from Toulouse. But yeah, maybe it's because their name is Toulouse and it's too close to lose. Then Crystal Palace don't want to lose their players, so yeah. And Ismail Assar, 78 minute. Ismail Assar's world class, man. He scored goals for Liverpool for fun, I know it. So yeah, that's about my recap. Long recap for Matchday 3 of the Premier League and into international break. And next video going up will be the ranking and talking about the EPL transfers. Try to go as much as possible. Maybe more than one video about it. One part about it. And yeah. So subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share the video. Comment. Leave a comment. Like up the video like always. Peace out. Steve Squad signing out.